Look at that, beautiful people. Avia, greetings, sis, greetings. Jerry, shalom, shalom. Hannah, Grand Rising, Nazarene, the same Grand Rising, Vinette, greetings, sis. 27. Yes. All right, beautiful people. Happy Thursday. Oh, it was. Oh, I don't know what I did. I messed it all up. Skip something. Okay. All right, beautiful people. It is Thursday, March the 16th, 2023, day 355 of year 4 of reading through books, laws, and prophets. Another 4-year consecutive day count, day 1,374. Today we're picking back up in the Romance of the Red Star on page 89. We are in the cycle of Sue. And in Big Blue, it's on page 91. When we get done there, we're going to start with a chapter in book 3 of the Seeing Gospel of Peace. And that chapter, or that little section, is entitled Stars. Like the sun, moon, and stars, the stars. So, Father, we thank you for the ability to dream. Tikva, hey, girl, hey, Elijah, peace and blessings, and everybody else here already hanging out in the background. Top of the day to you. All right, y'all. Sorry about yesterday. I know I already told y'all I overslept big time. This whole daylight saving time thing. Because sometimes my alarm clock will go off, but most of the time I'll wake up before my alarm clock goes off. But since we moved ahead an hour, my body's still waking up by itself at the time that it was trained to. So when I woke up at 6:30, my body was still thinking it was 5:30 and you was on time, but I really wasn't, right? Because man messing with the darn clock. So now I already adjusted my alarm clock, adjusting everything to get my body on track. Iman, shalom, shalom. All right, y'all. Oh, and y'all probably already saw Shebrew is fine. Matter of fact, when I said I sent her a message, but she hadn't responded yet, I did a quick glance, but I didn't go down far enough. She actually had responded, and she said she'd be hanging out in the background. She's super busy right now. She got stuff to do, right? Like Dawn said, she got her own life outside of us. But she said she all right, and plus she responded to the little post I posted on the page while we was live and everything, like, hey, Shuru, where art thou, sister? But she fine. She responded. She thanked everybody for checking in on her. She'll be in and out, but she's super busy these days, you know. So she said she be having us playing in the background. She be cracking up. So, all right, y'all. Tony J back again for the first time. Well, welcome, brother. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, y'all. Let's get going. So I want to hear up and finish getting through this so we can continue on our Nazarene and scene journey. Oh, I had a question I wanted to ask y'all. You know what? I'll hold it to the end. I'll hold it to the end. I'll hold it to the end because we're going to, not be able to read everything. Hold on. Make myself a note. Okay. All right, y'all. Dawn, what's good, sis? All right, y'all. Chapter 5, Cycle of Sue, page 89. After this manner were the words of the initiation, led by the Etherian host. So remember, they had just, I ain't going to say just tricked everybody. They made them see why they should not be hanging around Earth anymore after they done passed on this. You got to keep growing, just keep growing and going, right? So now they're at their point, it's like, man, strip off all this stuff. Give me a sheet. I'll take a sheet and I'll go barefoot doing whatever we need to do to get to this level to earn this type of power and stuff, right? So they already at this point. After this manner were the words of the initiation, led by the Etherian host. God on the throne said, Jehovah, Almighty, Almighty, boundless. Then the response was, how shall I comprehend thee, thou mighty one? God, thou higher than all gods and lords. The response, who moves the universe with power unlimited. God, creator and controller of the corporal worlds. Response, in whose hands the Etherian firmament is like a fruitful garden, wider than the boundaries of time. So it's the God on the throne speaking. He's saying something. Then the initiates are saying something in response. So I'm just going to say God, response, God, response. I'm going to read it like that. Derek, shalom. God, creator and controller of the corporal worlds. Response, in whose hands the Etherian firmament is like a fruitful garden, wider than the boundaries of time. God, whose members are all space. Response, whose members are all that is within space beyond measure. God, thou, O Jehovah, thou fountain and terminus of all things. Response, Jehovah, Jehovah, of whom all things are but parts attuned to thy will. God, thou all-person, O Jehovah, incomprehensible. Response, who speakest in the light, whose voice is the progress of the universe. God, Jehovah, thou all-giver, by giving createth. Response, what are thy secrets, O mighty one, O Jehovah, everlasting and greater than magnitude? God, I see nothing in all the universe but thee, all selves, S-E-L-F-S, selves, like us. I see nothing in all the I see nothing in all the universe but thee. All selves are but fractions of thyself, O Jehovah. Response, who hath not beholden thee, O Jehovah? Thy person is in the east and west, north and south. God, who hath not heard thy voice? Who hath not found thy hand? Response, without thee, O Jehovah, I go not, I move not. I set out to do things of myself and fail utterly. God, what is man before thee, O Jehovah? He setteth up a kingdom, and it falleth as a house of straw. Response, O Jehovah, how have I wasted my time? My buildings were lighter than chaff. My virtues were but bubbles, and they are burst and gone. God, when will man learn to attune himself to thee, O Jehovah? Response, how can I put away myself, O Jehovah? Have I not said I cannot put away my own judgment? God, man saith, I will not put away my judgment. Response, have I not said to protect myself is the first law, and to preserve my own the highest? God, man assumeth to protect himself, because he is without faith in thee, O Jehovah, and to preserve his own, which is in fact is not his. And here the light fell upon the throne, and Jehovah spake out of the light, saying, I have called thee, O man, from thy youth up. My voice hath never ceased in thine ear. Who can come into life without me? Who can measure his own footsteps? Behold, he who treadeth on my ground, all that he is made, the substance is mine. The kingdoms of the earth and the kingdoms of gods and lords in heaven are my works. When they have faith in me, I am with them in love, wisdom, and power. Shall a man butt his head against the wall to prove he is greater than his creator? That's good. Hold on, I need my highlight. I got this highlighted in big blue too. But, you know, I I gotta highlight everything everywhere I go. Okay. Let me start over what he said. I have called to thee, O man, from thy youth up. My voice have never ceased in thine ear. Who can come into life without me? Who can measure his own footsteps? Behold, he treadeth on my ground. Of all that he has made, the substance is mine. The kingdoms on the earth and the kingdoms of gods and lords in the heaven are my works. When they have faith in me, I am with them in love, wisdom, and power. Shall a man butt his head against the wall to prove he is greater than his creator? Behold, I came in the ancient days, saying, strive to become one with me, and thou shalt rejoice that I created thee. Strive to set up for thyself, and thy vanity shall in time pierce thee as a two-edged sword. I made thee, O man, with fondness for thy sons and daughters, of love like mine own, I gave thee a part. And as thou sendest to thy wayward son, beseeching him to return to thee, so do I bring my messengers from higher worlds to call thee. And that thou mayest not mistake their higher place, I have given them power and wisdom surpassing thine. The voice ceased, and then the initiate said, henceforth will I serve only thee, O Jehovah, for I know thou will appropriate me wisely, O Jehovah. According as the store is hewn and polished, so wilt thou put in the walls of thy house. What? According as the stone is hewn and polished, so wilt thou put it in the walls of thy house. My labor is to hew and polish and perfect my own soul forever. My soul shall become as a shining star. Ain't that's cool? Because we're reading the stars chapter today. Okay. Just me, shalom, global purpose, shalom. Mom, shalom, shalom. Everybody else is hanging out in the background. My soul shall become as a shining star. My love, like the Etherian angels, and plain my raiment and clean forever. No more will I boast, nor speak untruth forever, nor will I talk of myself, nor criticize my brethren, for they are thine, O Jehovah. To do righteous works and lift up my fellows shall be my labor henceforth forever. Make me strong in thee, O Jehovah, and wise to do thy will forever. Amen. I'm going to read this next little chapter. Chapter 6, on page 90. So impressed were the angels of atmosphere with the words and music of the ceremonies that the divided kingdoms, which were without unity and discipline before, were now replaced by extreme sanctity and decorum. Su said, the false gods and lords have gone off to build kingdoms of their own, and know not what has taken place in Horeb. Allow them to proceed until they have purified the corporeans from familiars and feudals. And when they have finished, call thou another festival of these people, and also send word to these false gods and lords who deny Jehovah, the all-person, and they will come bringing their slaves with them, adorned in extravagant raiment and jewelry. For they will expect by their pageantry to triumph over all other gods, hoping to carry back with them 10 millions of subjects. So I never thought about this before. But okay, so they get all nice and beautiful. We got all the bling and everything going on in hopes to catch everybody's eye that's over there. But like, man, why they look so fly? We look like bums on the street. You see how the gold? Look at how they shining. You know what? We out. We're going to be a part of they. And so the jewelry and all the bling blinds them. And now they forsake their one false god. And they go and join another false god for hopes that they can become as beautiful as they are and get their game up on their bling and stuff. Right? Look, listen. They was hoping by their pageantry. Audrey Shalom says, listen. Sue said, hold on. Let me just go back. I started over. Chapter 6, page 90. Romance of the Red Star. So impressed were the angels of atmosphere with the words and music and the ceremonies that the divided kingdoms, which were without unity and discipline before, were now replaced by extreme sanctity and decorum. Su said, the false gods and lords have gone off to build kingdoms of their own, and know not what has taken place in Horrid. Allow them to proceed until they have purified the corporeans from the familiars and fetals. And when they have finished, call thou another festival of all these people, and also send word to the false gods and lords who deny Jehovah, the all-person, and they will come, bringing their slaves with them, adorned in extravagant raiment and jewelry, for they will expect by their pageantry to triumph over all other gods, hoping to carry back with them 10 millions of subjects. And you know that happened today, right? Especially, I ain't gonna call people gold diggers and stuff like that, but you know, it is what it is, right? Some people are taken by all the shiny stuff, right? A lot of people in the, let me say an example. A lot of people enthralled with the music industry that like to make music videos and all this stuff, and they, you know, they throwing up money in the club, all in the video. They got girls in there twerking and shining and all this bling and stuff. And you got new and upcoming artists think that this is the way to go. So they start doing their own little videos and stuff, thinking, you know what, this might put me up there. Just make a video that's good enough. You know, you can't be trash. You know, some people get discovered on YouTube, and a lot of people nowadays, and the little social media, whatever app you on, TikTok, they being discovered. You know, they actually have talent. Jamil Shalom says they actually have talent, and they got a little bit of marketing skills and stuff. Or they know somebody that know how to do videos real good, and they kind of add all this stuff in there. And some of them be faking. Most of them be faking the funk. They go to the party store and rent one of these money guns and the Monopoly money and be shooting money. They don't never show close-ups on the money because it ain't real for real. Matter of fact, in some of the videos with the real artists, I'm not sure that they always use real money. I'm almost certain that they all use fake money anyway. But half the time, people that's trying to, they trying to come up, they start doing some of these same things, hoping to attract attention to themselves. You know, and they become locally famous sometime, right? And so now they walk around here until they make it. They got to fake the funk. They got to fake it till they make it. Now, some of them are, right? Some of them may have side hustles and stuff where they can purchase real jewelry, right? But I've seen some artists, some of the younger artists that'll actually tell you can look at some interviews, and some of them are actually forthcoming. They said, well, all of what I got on now is real and what's in my ear. I saw this video. It's two young guys. They twins. They're from the islands or something. They call them like the Island Boys. I didn't really listen to them, but they became famous from social media or whatever. But they became famous for their locks, their tattoos, and their earrings and all their jewelry and stuff, called the Island Boys. They totally rebranded themselves. Now they didn't cut off all their locks, and they got a nice close cut, and they look more professional, right? I'm like, okay, you know. But they did an interview with them, and they said all them videos and stuff we did, all that stuff was fake. They said we rented jewelry to make our little videos. He said we ain't really had the money. We was doing ours. We ain't had no money. We didn't know how we was going to eat dinner. But we knew if we kept on, we knew we had to give. If we kept on and we met the right people, that one day we'd make it and we'd be able to buy ourselves some real jewelry. So they actually bought diamond testers. I said, oh yeah, you can test everything now. But back in the day, we wouldn't even let you get close to us. The video, the interview was pretty funny. I don't even remember their real names. I just remember they call them the Island Boys. Milli Vanili. Yeah, we remember Milli Vanili. Oh my gosh, somebody did hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find that meme today. Hold on. Somebody did a meme with Milli Vanili, and they put Milli and Vanilli up there, just like looking straight face, you know, because they got called out for lip syncing. Everybody doing that today. And somebody did a meme talking about how Milli Vanilli looking now, but I forget it. But they was talking about how what they was doing back then, they got called out for it. And they really only got like one song off the ground. I only remember them for like one song. And I don't even remember the name of it. But after that, they went into nothingness because they got caught lip syncing and stuff. I'm just like, see, they was really ahead of their time, but the world wasn't ready for it yet. Yeah, blame it on the rain. Blame it on the rain. That was a song. That was my jam too. Look. Yeah, look, just me sound like they go to the party hoping to take from other false gods. They actually do, right? That's how I got onto this. That's what people do today too, right? So you got guys and people trying to get into the music industry, and a lot of places, and it don't even really have to be with jewelry. It could be with whatever industry they trying to get into. They fake to look the part like they've already made it, So, but yeah, Bronze Job, Shalom, Shalom. They had 2 hits, got them Grammys took back. Yeah, like they really look. Don't get like my aunt. They need to write to Dan Hesse about this. Look, like but with everything, I don't know. I would want like a retrial or something. At least give me my Grammys back. Look at what's happening today. I don't know. They probably only have the money now to fight back. Well, I hope they do. Maybe they do. Kevin Shalom, hold on. Oh man, hold on. Kevin said, Milli Vanili, sad case of culture shaming people into suicide. Wonder if he'd still be alive if he knew we didn't care and still liked the music. You know what? I didn't even know one of them had died. What? I didn't even know that. Wow. That's crazy. Right, yeah, you know what, because sometimes social media can be cruel, right? People can be cruel on social media. Sometimes it's a bit overload and you really do need to take a break from it, right? You really do, especially little children. They really shouldn't be on social media because it's just this constant chemical release in your brain and they're not really ready for it. It's like being hooked on drugs, right? It's crazy. Yeah. All right, y'all, let me finish reading this chapter. Hold on. Let me read this about the false gods again. Sue said, the false gods and lords have gone off to build kingdoms of their own and know not what has taken place in Horrid. Allow them to proceed until they have purified the corporeans from familiars and fetals. And when they have finished, call out another festival of all these people and also send word to the false gods and lords who deny Jehovah, the all-person, and they will come bringing their slaves with them, adorned in extravagant raiment and jewelry. For they will expect by their pageantry to triumph over all other gods, hoping to carry back with them millions of subjects. Oh, that was the one point I was about to make. Some women, too, they see men who they think got it together in these nice cars and all this jewelry, and then they begin to look at their man like, why you so plain? I'm just like, sis, the grass ain't always greener on the other side. You don't even know the dude faking a funk for real, And if he not, and I don't know, I ain't leaving my man just because it looked like you got more money and stuff, right? Because he may beat you or something, or he may not even give you none of his money. He might be a pimp. He might make you help him make money. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. So God did as commanded, and in course of time, the false gods and lords stripped the barbarians of the earth and their familiars and fetals, making slaves of such spirits in heaven. And God gave another festival, and it was greater than the first. And there were present about 3,000 million angels. And the false gods and lords came to the festival, equipped in chariots and ships, and with banners and flags, and crowns and diadems, and such wonderful extravagances, the like of which had not been in heaven since the time of the flood. And each and every false god and lord endeavored to outdo the others in show and parade. The first day of the festival, they neither won applause nor censure. The second day, they ceased to attract attention, for the thrift, purity, and wisdom manifested in the countless millions of the second resurrection caused even the children to receive more praise than the false gods and lords with all their glitter and show. Dang, I'd have been slowly taking stuff off, backing out here, and getting a child outdoing me. I'm like, man, what am I doing with my life? So, The second day, they ceased to attract attention, for the thrift, purity, and wisdom manifested in the countless millions of the second resurrection caused even children to receive more praise than the false gods and lords with all their glitter and show. On the third day, one half of the false gods and false lords cast aside their adornments and appeared in plain white, pleading to be initiated into the mysteries of the second resurrection. And on the day following, the rest of them came also, seeking like admission. And the light of Jehovah spake through God on the throne, saying, Thank ye, O gods and lords. What are you doing? Yesterday you asked for kingdoms, desiring to be rulers over your fellows. And ye obtained your desires, becoming gods and lords over millions. And these became your dutiful subjects, and ye adorned your thrones and your persons in great splendor. Behold, I gave a festival, and ye came as living witnesses of what self-made gods and lords could accomplish. And your dutiful subjects came with you to attest their loyalty and good faith in your wisdom and power. Now you have cast aside your crowns and high estate, praying to become workers among the host of men and women. Are you not mad? And are you not making yourselves the destroyers of your own subjects? For behold, because of your abjuration of pomp and glory, all your subjects are cast aside in ignorance and misery. With one voice, the self-gods and lords answered, Alas, O God, what shall we do? We can give away our crowns, raiment, and our jewels, and our thrones and kingdoms, but we cannot give away our subjects. They will not go. We have bound them to us, and we are bound to them because we accepted them. What shall we do, O God? The burden is more than we can bear. Like, we want to become a slave, but we got all these people following me, and they won't go nowhere. What are we supposed to do? God said, Be not disconsolate. You have done a great work. You have rescued millions of familiars and feetles, and even before you asked to be initiated into the second resurrection, most of your subjects have already deserted you. Hear the judgment of your Creator, which is that when all your subjects and feetles are risen in wisdom and virtue and good works, so as to take the second resurrection, shall you be promoted. For only until then can you have freedom of soul. The voice ceased, and the self-gods and lords answered, Thou art just, O Jehovah. We will go to work amongst our poor and ignorant subjects and make them comprehend thy wisdom and power and justice. For 10 days the festival lasted. Thus were first established rites and ceremonies in the lower heaven as a power to work wisdom and virtue. And after that time, music, marching, and dancing were included in all ceremonies by the gods and lords of heaven. And there's one more chapter left. Where we at? Let me just go ahead and finish this. Yeah, the cycle of Sue. Let me just read this last chapter, and we'll start the Lord's record for the cycle of Sue tomorrow. So it's only a few verses. In the 50th year, In the 50th year of Sue, he dispatched swift messengers of Ab-Nitivak in Etheria, saying, Thus saith Sue, God of two Etherian worlds, Behold, I am sojourning on earth, and with the God of the earth and his lords have prepared 1,000 million brides and bridegrooms for Jehovah's Etherian harvest. Greeting to Nista and Ho and Towin, goddess in the name of Jehovah. Send in Erevagna and complete the resurrection of the father's brides and bridegrooms. And the goddess Nista provided in Erevagna an Etherian ship, resolving to come as commander-in-chief. Sue advised God, saying, Make thou of this matter a great testimony in thy heaven. Send therefore thy messengers into all parts, and to thy lords on earth, inviting all people to be present to witness the ascent of Jehovah's brides and bridegrooms. God did as commanded, and on the day of the appearance of Nista, daughter of Jehovah, in her sonship in the firmament, there were assembled in Horeb countless millions of souls inspired of Jehovah. Great was the manifestation of the delight when the sonship came in full view, descending like a world of fire. And when she passed Chinvat and was fully within earth's vortex, the enthusiasm of the people knew no bounds. They sang and prayed and danced and clapped their hands as if mad with delight. Meantime, the brides and bridegrooms had now been arrayed in Etherian white and were now saluting those whom they were soon to leave. Quietly, the Ethereal hosts filled their part in the great play of the immortal resurrection. You know what? Jeremiah came in. He said, "Mom, you got to watch this." Yesterday, and I know a lot of y'all, well, if y'all been here for a while, everybody's familiar with Stephen Greer, right? So, you know, Encounters of the Fifth, was it Encounters of the Fifth Kind, the closest kind? But anyway, that guy, he's a scientist. Anyway, he's about to release another. Did he release it? Because Jeremiah said he released it. I could be wrong. It still could be like a couple more days because Jeremiah been doing a countdown because he really into Stephen Greer and a lot of the science and stuff, and a lot of the uncovering of what the government calls extraterrestrials and UFOs and stuff. But he told me about this interview this black guy did, who's also looking into this, along with what's the guy name? It's another black guy. I'm gonna share it with y'all. But there was an interview and he was talking about some stuff that was released from the Pentagon. And I'm like, you know what? And my husband actually came down here because I was cooking. I was letting it play on the TV, so I was watching it. Jeremiah went back upstairs because he was already into the next one. He said, "You watch this, I'm watching the next one." He said, "But pay attention to it." And as I was listening to it, I started thinking about what we've been learning about in Owaski. I'm like, you know what? This ain't nothing but our brethren. They talking about the UFOs and should we be scared of stuff, and started talking about the Space Force and everything. Some of the stuff I was laughing at, not laughing at it, but a couple years ago, I'd be like, yeah, y'all all is nuts, right? But now that I read through Owaski and some of the stuff that now I understand and been able to put two and two together in a lot of different places, and even with them spraying the skies and stuff and covering up stuff, I'm like, you know what? All of this is making a little bit more sense. Cause my cow, shalom, shalom. Listen, I'm like, I wonder if any of them even know that Owaski exists and explains a lot of this stuff. You know, and so they get people all scared. They know something is out there. And the way they explain it to us and the way they put stuff out and warnings and UFO sightings and all this stuff, the way that they've already portrayed this in movies already kind of like dumbs us down and makes us ignorant, and they hide stuff for fear that it's going to be complete pandemonium all across the earth. But I'm like, you know what, if they freely allow it, you just got to go looking for it. If people were actually educated on actually what's out there. Now, I know I might sound like a UFO lover and stuff. You know how on movies they throw UFO parties and they all be standing on the top of the building with signs like, "Welcome to Earth." I wouldn't necessarily be up there. And then again, I don't know. I love a good party, but we don't know, is you friend, is you foe? Is it false God? Is it, so now I'm revisiting all these things, but I thought it was a really, really interesting interview that he did, because a lot of the things he said, I was like, yo, Owaski talks about that. I said, that ain't nothing scary. I'm going to share it. Hold on. And I forgot the name of the guy because Jeremiah pulled it up on the TV on YouTube. I was like, yo, this is good. I'm going to have to come back and rewatch this. Kevin said they did. They don't. Right. Look, so anytime they show us anything about UFOs, people like, yeah, no, if it's something coming, I'm going to be in a house somewhere hiding or going into my underground bunker. They ain't going to blow me up. So now they got everybody, I ain't going to say everybody, but the way they portray everything is like they're against us. They're coming here to kill us, take over our world and resources and stuff. And the whole world should unite, right? We should unite together against this force that's out there that's bigger than us. I'm like, how long y'all think they've been out there? And first of all, we done created a space force. Let me tell you the craziness behind the space. Listen, I'm not saying the Space Force is crazy, but let me tell you when they decided to drop the Space Force, right? And it kind of lowered, the way they did it to me, it's like they lowered the credibility of it because of when they did it. So remember when the Space Force came out, they were talking about it before Trump even came into office, but they decided it would be best, I ain't gonna say best go over, they could push in a lot of stuff during his time in office, right? So they just they just dumped a lot of, I don't even know how to say it. They just dumped a lot of stuff on us during Trump's campaign and made him the fall guy to tell us about it. But he was really trying to tell us some stuff that was real, but his character had already been, I ain't gonna say smeared. He did a lot of help with smearing his own character, but because it was coming from him and during his office, nobody really took it seriously, right? So it's like Space Force, yeah, this ninja done really lost his mind. He ain't even in Space Force, but the Space Force is an actual branch of the United States government. And if it was a farce, it would have went out when he went out of office. No, it's still there. Like, they've been planning this for yes, thank you, Billy Carson. Cosmo Cow, yes. I couldn't think of his name. That was his name. I know, this is a minute ago. But yeah, Billy Carson. But Billy Carson wasn't the one that did this video, although he's talking about some works him and Billy Carson are doing, bringing some of this stuff out. It's another gentleman. He's a little heavy set, and he has like a whole podcast thing. He wears headphones and have the mic or whatever. I forget his name, but that's the video I'm gonna share with y'all. And now I'll reshare I'll share the preview of the new thing that Stephen Greer is releasing. And so they're putting out a lot of truth, and I think I got a lot of different theories about all of this. But the way they put stuff out, they make us believe that this is just a bunch of quackery, right? But if we actually go looking into some of this stuff, it wouldn't seem like a bunch of quackery when we find out that the United States government actually has this stuff listed. You can find some of this stuff on the White House, the White House websites and different places where they can put it. Well, it's public knowledge. Like, they have to put it out there because, listen, so what they're thinking is there's an outside enemy, extraterrestrial, they're going to come, they're going to blow us all up. So all of the nations, we should learn to work together. One world order, unity, we all merge together as one united force. The Earth force against whatever space force out here. We're going to create our own space force so we can look and see. So like, they see stuff out there, they hide stuff. But for those of us that don't have access to some of this high-tech technology where they can actually tap in and see, you can just go and meditate for a little while. Like, seriously, you got to be serious about it. And you'll be able to tap into a lot of this stuff. Matter of fact, you'd be able, I know it's going to sound crazy, you'd be able to talk to some of these extraterrestrials before they do, because their technology is so much more advanced than what ours is. And that's why the government hasn't taken, I'll just say it like this. That's why the government hasn't really taken shots at these things yet, because they're not sure of how much more advanced their capability is. I'm like, well, first of all, if they can make their ships invisible, they blame it on Russia and other different people and stuff like that. They got to blame it on somebody, because they just can't come on the news and be like, yeah, it's a UFO out here. They're preparing us so they can freely come out and say that, which is why they've created a real live space force, my G. I would never thought we would have had this ever a day in my life, but we have a space force, right? So all the people they be calling quacks and stuff, they don't look like quacks. It's like the whole Milli Vanili thing. These quacks were way before everybody else's time, but they had an eye to see, right? And they're seeing some of this stuff, and we coming out telling people, hey, yo, this, get out of here. Who gonna believe that, right? Because Hollywood has brainwashed you to think that extraterrestrials and alien is simply something that's not, I guess you have a couple, they call people from Mexico illegal aliens, right? People that's crossing over borders, but they're humans, right? You're just not what they think. You're not native to our little place, our neighborhood. So you're an alien, right? And when we hear alien, we thinking these big-headed, big-eye things and stuff. So we can't take it seriously. And then those who do take it seriously, they still kind of all chopped and screwed in their thinking, and now they doing all the way to the other end of the spectrum, and they scared, and they think we about to be in something like The Quiet Place, and everybody stay quiet. They're gonna come here and invade us. If you make any kind of noise, they're gonna kill us all. Well, first of all, if they want to do that, they would have been dead. They've been here forever. They haven't done that. And it's been, I don't say it's been proven, but it has really been proven that they're really trying to help elevate us and develop us, right? And if we read Owaspy, it wouldn't seem so far-fetched because it literally talks about all of this. I don't know, it's a bunch of stuff. Hold on. No reason, exactly, Kevin, right? No reason to create a force for the unseen. Look, Tabitha Hager, hey, the Nation of Islam under Mr. Farrakhan is always speaking about the MotherShip he cited many years ago. Yeah, you know, and some people don't take Farrakhan seriously. You know, although dude be spitting some wisdom. You know, I don't agree with everything he say, but he be saying some good stuff sometimes. And then when you come in here and you using words like MotherShip, there was a whole thing. Y'all bless his soul. He's no longer alive. But if y'all was here a while ago, it's been a couple years now. Somebody remember Rap the News? His son is really trying to hold on to his channel. He really is. But Rap the News Rap the News was always doing videos about motherships and Planet Hell and stuff like that, right? Yeah, sometimes I would look at it for good entertainment, but sometimes he say some stuff that was true. But as I started getting into a WASP, I'm like, yo, you know, this is not what y'all like really think it is, you know. So to me, a lot of the stuff on his video was more like fear mongering type stuff, and that may not have been the case from his point of view or whatever, but he talked about a couple things. But when he did a video called The MotherShip, right? And I actually, before I did a video responding to him just to get his attention, like, because I really had some questions. Like, I was serious, and I had some questions, you know. So I emailed him. He didn't respond to me. He responded to different people in there or whatever. I'm like, you know what? He's always ready for a good fight. So if I make a video, this is my thoughts. If I make a video and tag him in it, surely he gonna see it and he gonna respond to me because he ain't gonna let it fly. And sure enough, he took the bait. Boy, he did me so dirty. He did me so dirty in his video. And if y'all familiar with his videos and how he talk like Matt, I mean, he do me as bad as some of the guys he be doing. But I'm like, dang, my sister was mad. People was like, hey, did you see this video Rap the News did about you? Like, he was be calling out everybody, people that he thought was false prophets and stuff. I'm like, yeah, man, dang. And so I'm like, I done poked the bear. And so like, he told me from the Rudy to the Tootie. I'm just like, I'm sitting there, I'm watching, I'm like, and I started laughing. I was like, I can't let my husband see this because he would have went off. He was like, you know what, cut it all down, stop the videos, everything, you know. So, but look, my husband still, well, you can't see it now. You can only see my response videos to what he did, and you can only find those on my channel now. Because what happened was, I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure if he took them down or if people reported his videos, but his video got removed. Like, he did 2 of them, right? And I responded twice, and I was super nice, right? I was very, very respectful. I ain't use all the cussing and all that stuff that he normally be doing. Like, Rap the News be like making up curse words and stuff, you know. But let me see. In his defense, you know, like I said, bless his soul, he's passed on. He passed away during the COVID era. But in his defense, right, he truly thought he was doing what was right based on his understanding, calling out people who he thought were leading Israel astray, right? And some of them he hit right on the head because he get their videos and he like pull them up on the screen and rewind what they said. You know, he was, some of it was skewed a little bit. So some of the stuff that I used to watch, the people that he used to bring up, I was like, I got to go see the full story for myself. And as I started looking at some of the people, looking at the actual full stories, I realized a lot of the things sometimes he would actually be taken out of context. You know, so I'm like, this is not even what they were talking about. I'm like, man, this video was bad. Like, you're trying to make people believe something about this person that's not even true. And like what they said here, it's not even in the right context of what they were actually saying in their full video. So it was with him that I realized when people do review videos on different people, give me the original video. Let me be the judge and jury on that and make sure I can trust you with the information you're giving me about them. And so I noticed that with quite a few. And not only that, that's exactly what he did to me, right? That's exactly what he did to me. And I'm like, yo. And so when I responded, and I started very respectfully, you know, and I gave him his props and all that. And I let him know, I'm like, if you had let my video play, he caught me in one of those moments where, you know, if you've been here long enough and if you just pop in at any given moment, I could be saying something. My husband could be saying something about sex or something like that. And you be like, wait, what you just say? You know, and you get like one of the moments, and he caught me in one of the moments and posted that. And not only that, y'all know how I move my hands a lot, right? He caught me in one of the moments where the screen froze and my fingers, I think my fingers, what's the sign? My fingers was like this or something or whatever, the Illuminati side. And he had, the whole time he was talking, he would rewind. And I'm like, dude, I ain't a part of, I'm watching the video. I'm like, I'm not a part of the Illuminati. But he was like, look at the hand signals and see here this. Like, he was really diagnosing my video. I'm like, I could not believe it. And then we was talking about this whole MotherShip thing, because he started talking about the chariots and stuff coming from heaven to get Israel and everything. And he was literally pulling some scriptures out of context, right? The scriptures in the Bible. We ain't talking about a waspy. He was pulling scriptures out of context. And he was also using some videos and sightings some people did. And there was one thing that he had used where he wasn't giving people references to. And that's what I was asking him for. Like, where are you pulling these videos from? Like these spaceship videos and being caught in the sky and stuff. And I realized it's a good thing that I'm into Stephen Greer, right? But he never let on to anybody that he is too, right? So some of the stuff that he was putting out, maybe he didn't know he was putting out false information, but based on my interactions with him, I'm not sure what his motives were. I'm gonna just say that, right? I'm not gonna speak ill about him. I'm not sure what his motives were, but when I asked him, can you give me the reference to these sightings and these clips and stuff? You know, he just like completely ignored me. And he could have been just super busy. He may not have even seen my stuff. So I figured, you know what? He's always ready for a good fight if somebody mentioned his name. That's why I was like, well, he gonna answer my question one way or another, because I'm thinking something is wrong with this. And he had a huge following of people that literally hung on to his every single word. Like planet hell. Yes, there's a planet hell. And like people disrupting their lives, being afraid. They going all the way to the other end of the spectrum. They're coming out of Christianity. Now they got to worry about planet hell coming to take them. I'm like, what? People love good fear-mongering channels, right? They keep you on they doing the same thing Christianity do. Jesus coming soon, the world going to hell, all this stuff. And it's this fear-based tactic thing. And so if you go back in my videos, you'll have to scroll back. It's called MotherShip. Just put in Awaken to Truth and put in MotherShip. And if you go in and you look in the description, because I gave y'all the rundown of everything that happened. There was a couple videos made and I did a couple responses. We just kind of talking back and forth through the videos. Like, I'm like, bro, like we could get on the phone and talk about this, you know, but he would never respond or whatever. And so I was like, fine, you continue to do the videos. Let's do this. You're putting it out there. You make me look like I'm a heathen and I'm not really a heathen. Not that I really cared, but I was seriously wanting the references for this stuff that he was showing, because I was looking into this and I found out some of the things looked familiar. When I found out he pulled it from Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, from Stephen Greer stuff, making it seem like it was something else. I'm like, oh, yo, wait a minute. No, I was like, because now I think you purposely doing this. And I was even more pissed because of the people that was following him, that I ain't gonna say it was ignorant. They may not go and do the deep searches like I do and check stuff out. They just like hanging on every word. And I'm like, this is so wrong. Like, This is no worse than somebody in Christianity leading people astray, or not just, I ain't gonna just pick on them, but you have it in all different sects of religion. I'm like, and that really made my blood boil. And if you tried to say anything, because you got to be careful when people are all enthralled with their leader, you say anything wrong, they're gonna cut your head off. Don't you attack my pastor, don't you attack my leader, you're the problem. I'm just like, y'all was sitting in the dark and I came and cut the light on so y'all can see. Cut the light off. Who cut the light on? I'm just like, oh shoot. I thought I was helping y'all out. Y'all walking in the walls and stuff, and I come in, flip on the light, and everybody ready to attack you like a pack of hungry wolves and stuff. I'm just like, okay. You never even heard of him? Yeah, but he was out there. He had like, shucks. His channel had grown to over like, he wasn't in the millions, but he was constantly growing. Before they actually killed his channel, he was like at, shucks, I'll say, like the last time I saw, I think he was at like 63,000 followers. And he had like 4 backup channels. So if you go searching for him now, his son is kind of running everything. And his son, he ain't even running all them channels. But when they killed his main channel with all his stuff up there, it took away like a lot of his stuff, you know, so it kind of slowed him down in the algorithm and everything. And, you know, shortly after that, he passed away, you know, because, you know, complications with COVID and everything. And even there was some terrible stuff that happened and people doing videos about him even when he passed. And I thought that was so wrong. I may not have agreed with everything that he talked about or whatever, but to get up there and some of them videos that, and then some people were saying, that's right, our God, King, you know, Yahweh, Yahuwah, he don't like ugly, and you can't come against his children and think judgment not going to come upon you. I'm like, all of y'all is so ignorant. That a lot of people think that Creator killed him because of the videos he did. I just don't think that it happened that way. I really don't. I think there was some ignorance in regards to health and how to take care of it. You know, some things that were lacking. You know, I know they were trying to go plant-based or whatever, but dabbling back and forth in the meats and stuff. And it's just a lot of stuff, you know. Jen! Hey, girl, hey! I ain't seen you in a while up here live. Jen be hanging out in the background, y'all. That's my girl. But yeah, you know, but if you go back, the whole point was, I was getting on to when they started bringing out the things about the Space Force. They did a lot of what in our minds, it wasn't like real top-notch information, and it was discredited from the beginning, especially because they pushed it while Trump was still in office. So anything that a lot of the world heard him say, because of all of the shenanigans that happened during his campaign and during his time in office, they just like, yeah, that's garbage. Everything is garbage. But it's not really. They just chose to chunk in a lot of stuff during that time because they knew a lot of people had turned off their eyes. They had turned off their ears. Anything that comes here, they figured this is this one we can do it, dump it all in right now. Ain't nobody paying attention. That's what they did with all of this stuff. And nobody's paying attention because if it was garbage, like I said, when he left out of office, all of that would have left out of office with him. No, it's still there in black and white. It's on the government websites. The Space Force is real. It's filled with actual officers and people in there that's steady trying to grow it. It's a lot of stuff that's happening behind the scenes that they're not telling us about, you know. And now them quacks don't seem like these quacks that they made them out to be. But now it's like, wait a minute, I remember them saying this a while ago, and y'all made me think the dude was just losing his mind, right? So, but go back and look at that, and I'll share this interview with this guy, so y'all can just take a look at it. And when you listen to it, think about what we're reading in a WASP and how it explains some of these things. They just explain it in a different way to where people, they're not even really getting a good understanding of what's happening. And everybody's like afraid. It's like, oh my God, why do we got to worry about people on the earth? Now you're telling us we got to worry about things that's above the earth that's going to possibly come here and try and take over and like make us slaves and do their business, or probably just kill us all and like suck our blood and stuff. That's how they got us thinking. And I'm just like, how we're going to fix this mess. And a lot of people, they just like, I'll be glad. And some people, they so scared. It's like, well, Jesus going to come before the end. I'm like, no, bro, they're going to suck your blood before Jesus come back and get you. People be getting mad with me. I try to make light, not make fun of people, but I try to get them just like, open up your eyes and think. Like, think. I still do. I even, this one channel, like, I'm like, man, and you seem so sincere, but it seemed like your life, like you really put everything in your life on hold, and just every day you just going to work, just believing this could be the day that Jesus come take us all. And like your whole channel is about this. And I see other people that's looking at this one dude channel and following him. Yes, I'd be so glad. I had this dream about the rapture last night. I'm like, you know what? Foolery begets foolery, right? And it's just like, it's, when people get into this mode, what do they call it? It's, it's like a groupthink, right? When people, because they actually believe certain things, their lives actually begin like these self-fulfilling prophecies, to where now they're taking everything and saying, yes, this is it. It's because Jesus is coming back, the end times, and everything now they're looking at through these tainted glass windows of what they believe, and everything seems to look like this. That's how they align their life. But it's a lie. Like, your windows are dirty. Clean the window. No, that's not the truth, right? But it's this cycle that people get into, and that's, I don't know, but it works, and it's kind of a hard cycle to stop with some people, especially if they're really invested in this thing that they believe, right? Because a lot of people, the way they act is because of their own personal experience of what they believe, and they operate in their life based on the filters and the biases that they have, and their life literally takes that on, right? But that could be broken. It's proven. I've proven that could be broken, because when I was in that, that's what it was for me. Oh my gosh, Jesus coming back. So this is why all this and every bad thing. Yep. Satan, New World Order, all this stuff. Like, I was a mess. And when I broke out of that, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I laugh at myself sometimes, because I look at, I'm like, you know what? That is complete and utter foolery. Because when I was there, like, I literally believed that. Now, stepping from outside of that prison wall, it's like, that is foolishness, right? Because common sense would tell you that that's not going to happen, right? Now, people, they when you super spiritual, you just throw Jesus on top of everything, and everything, it's like, yep, it may seem like it ain't, but anything can happen. With Jesus can cause anything to happen. And even if he didn't, it don't mean he can't. You know, because it might be another reason why he didn't come save me. I'm just like, bro, you died because you didn't get your eating habits under control, not because Jesus wouldn't heal you. I'm praying for healing. Y'all pray for my healing in the Lord. And even if you don't, I'm going to go to the grave praising him to my very last breath. Well, first of all, you didn't have to die so early. If all you had to do was stop eating meat, you know, get some exercise, get some in front of the TV, quit eating up the chicken while y'all frying church dinners at the back of the church, selling them. You went to the grave early because of your own lack of self-discipline. Not because Jesus chose not to save you because there was another plan. Because maybe you thought your death was a glory to him. I'm like, this is foolishness. Y'all can't see it. So, y'all done got all off. Yeah, the God spell, as Selah calls it. Listen, there's a whole section in the Holy Megillah entitled the God spell. Literally. There's a whole section. We're going to get into it. And my question to y'all is about that. Cosmo said, Owaspi say that the fall of a leaf, they'll find Owaspi say that in the fall of a leaf, they'll find a reason to believe that Christ is coming back. Right? It's just, y'all, it's crazy. But if you sit back and look at it, it's genius. It's genius. I say it's genius because the Creator created our minds like to be so amazing that we literally, and what you're doing, you're literally producing your own big time motion picture, whatever you want to call it, in Hollywood. You literally design your own your own motion picture that begins to play out in your life based on the information that you put inside of your computer, right? And so now you live your whole, everybody walking through earth with different movies playing in their life, different backgrounds, what they believe. But as you adjust the information, it's like a computer. You know, if you put garbage in, you won't get garbage out, right? And we can tell by your actions what you done put inside your brain, what you meditate on, what you think about, what you believe, right? Oh, that's a whole lot of garbage that went inside of there, you know. But it can be changed. It's not permanent. People have to realize that they can change, and they don't have to wait for some outside entity to give them permission to not go to church anymore or whatever. Like, bruh, like, Creator literally gave you the keys to your own body, but you didn't hand them over to whoever thou wilt. And they making you look like a nutcase, make you look like a nutcase out here. So, Ellen White and Russell Tate had revelations the same way. You know what? I'm ashamed to say I don't even know who them people are. Kevin. I'm gonna have to look them up. I'm not Kevin, Tabitha. I don't even know who they are. Hold on. Yeah, right. It's like they're in a trance. Okay, look, let me finish reading this little section right here, y'all. Hold on. Nisa came. Okay. We're on page 91, the last chapter in the cycle of Su, or the book of Su. God did as commanded, and on the day of the appearance of Nista, daughter of Jehovah, in her sonship, in the firmament, there were assembled in Horeb countless millions of souls inspired of Jehovah. Great was the manifestation of the light when the sonship came in full view, descending like a world of fire. And when she passed Chinvat and was fully within earth's vortex, the enthusiasm of the people knew no bounds. They sang and prayed and danced and clapped with their hands as if mad with delight. Meantime, the brides and bridegrooms had been arrayed in Etherian white and were now saluting those whom were soon to leave. Quietly, the Etherian hosts filled their part in the great play of the immortal resurrection. Nearer and nearer came Nista in her sonship, slowly turning and descending with 10,000 curtains and suspended waving, and 10 times 10,000 banners and flags waving, and then slowly down, lower and lower, till the Aravagna rested on the plateau of Horeb, to the south of the temple of Jehovah. Gusativi, marshalless to the throne of Su, and Israel with 10,000 deputies, went forward and with open arms to receive Nista, saluting her with the sign of the star and square, having been warm friends for 200,000 years in the plains of Oyad and the Etherian Estu of Hydan. The Essenars of both hosts were chanting, and the angels of the Aravagna coming forth in hundreds of thousands to be saluted by the previously trained brides and bridegrooms of Jehovah, and by the host of Su, the Etherian laborers. And when Nista came up to the throne, God and Su rose up amidst the light that was now fast gathering as a mantle of brilliant fire over the place of council. Su said, "All hail, O Nista, Jehovah's daughter." God said, in Jehovah's name, "Welcome, O Nista," to which Nista answered, "By the wisdom and power of Jehovah, O my beloved." And Su and God parted. And Nista ascended and sat in the midst of the throne. After the ceremonies of salutation, Nista said, "Let the bride and bridegrooms of Jehovah approach the throne of God." The marshalless then ushered the 1,000 million, to their places, and the swift messengers bound them on all sides, so that the response should be uniform and as if spoken by one person. And Nista spake from the throne, and the brides and bridegrooms responded in the usual form, and then took the necessary vows and renunciations of the earth and lower heaven, according to Jehovah's commandment. When the ceremonies were finished, God proclaimed one day of recreation and which was participated in joyously by 4,000 million souls. So on the next day, Nista and her hosts, with 1,000 million brides and bridegrooms, entered the Aravagna amidst the cheers and weeping of millions of atmospherians who had never witnessed so grand a spectacle. We're almost done. These are the last couple sentences. And then Nista, by the power of Jehovah, set her ship in motion, raised it up from the lower heaven, moved it upward by her command, saying, Arise, arise, Eravagna, embrace thou the realms of great Jehovah. The Essenars and trumpeters were singing and playing, and those ascending threw down flowers and perfumes as pleasant remembrances to the countless millions below. And soon the Eravagna disappeared in high heaven. And this then is what followed Su's ministration. When the end of dawn had come, that is, the 6 years, he delivered God and his lords and another 1,000,000,000 bride and bridegrooms, taking them into the borders of Israel, were assigned the Aegean fields of Rutsu with 12 Etherian worlds. And Su left Tehi as the anointed God of the lower heaven for the next 400 years. And God, Tehi, anointed lords for the division of the earth, and the earth and its heavens prospered, so that in the Dan following there were raised up 2,000,000,000 brides and bridegrooms. From this time on, there was a decree in the Etherian harvest for 2,000 years, after which time there came great darkness on the earth and the heavens belonging to it, and the self-gods fill all atmosphere, so that men and angels knew not whether there was a true God or Lord in all the universe. And that is the end of the cycle of Su. So tomorrow we'll begin the Lord's record of the cycle of Su, and that's literally only 2 chapters. So we're going to read that and be done and be in the book of Apollo. I love the book of Apollo. All right, y'all. So we had 1 hour, 6 minutes, but I think we want to go ahead and read this one little chapter. It's short, about the stars. And then in probably a couple days, maybe in like 2 days, we'll be in the 4th book, which is really, really short, which we shouldn't be in that any longer than 3 days. And then we can start on the Holy Megillah, right? And so let me read this and I ask y'all a question. Y'all think about it and let me know. Page 227. Stars. The white shining, far-seeing stars, the piercing, health-bringing, far-piercing stars, their shining rays, their brightness and glory are all, through thy holy law, the speakers of thy praise, O Heavenly Father. Over the face of heaven did the Heavenly Father hurl his might, and lo, he did leave a river of stars in his wake. We invoke the bright and glorious stars that wash away all things of fear, and bring health and life unto all creations. And we invoke the bright and glorious stars, to which the Heavenly Father hath given 1,000 senses, the glorious stars that have within themselves the seed of life and of water. Unto the bright and glorious stars do we offer up an invocation, with wisdom, power, and love, with speech, deeds, and rightly spoken words, do we sacrifice unto the bright and glorious stars that fly toward the heavenly sea, as swiftly as the arrow darteth through heavenly space. We invoke the bright and glorious stars that stand out beautiful, spreading comfort and joy as they commune with themselves. The holy works, the stars, the sun, and the many-colored dawn, which bringeth on the light of days, are all, through their heavenly order, the speakers of thy praise, O thou great giver, the holy law. We invoke the Lord of the stars, the angel of light, the ever awake, who taketh possession of the beautiful, wide expanding law, greatly and powerfully, and whose face looketh over all the 7 and 7 kingdoms of the earth, who is swift amongst the swift, bountiful amongst the bounteous, strong amongst the strong, the giver of increase, the giver of sovereignty, the giver of cheerfulness and bliss. We invoke the Lord of the stars, the angel of light, who is truth speaking, and with 1,000 ears and 10,000 eyes, with full knowledge, strong and ever awake. The heavenly order pervades all things pure, whose are the stars, in whose light and glorious angels, in whose light the glorious angels are clothed. Great is our heavenly Father, and of great power. His understanding is infinite. He telleth the number of the stars. He calleth them by their name. Behold the height of the stars, how high they are. Yet the heavenly Father doth hold them in his palms, as do as we do sift the sand in our, hold on, let me start it over. Yet the Heavenly Father doth hold them in his palms, as we do sift the sand in ours. He who knoweth not the holy law is as a wandering star in the darkness of an unknown sky. Thinkest thou there is but one way to see the firmament? Suppose ye the stars were but broken places in the sky, through which the glory of heaven is revealed, in fragments of blazing light. Oh my goodness. What did this just say? Hold up. Imagine if that was the case. Yo, let me read that again. Hold up. Wait a minute. Listen to this. Thinkest thou that there is but one way to see the firmament? Listen right here. Suppose ye the stars were but broken places in the sky, through which the glory of heaven is revealed in fragments of blazing light. What? Imagine if that was the case. Oh, man. Nene, shalom, sis. Yo. Now, every time I go outside at night, that's what I'm going to be thinking about. Look. Because we know that it's not the end, right? That's like the start. That's not like there is something else. But what if that is the case? What if the stars are breaks in the firmament that's letting out a little bit of the glorious light from what's above, right? It is very plausible, Jamil. That just blows my mind. What? Listen, okay. Hold on. Thinkest thou there is but one way to see the firmament? Suppose ye the stars were but broken places in the sky, through which the glory of heaven is revealed in fragments of blazing light. In the purple night, traversed by the continued stars, shall the souls of the children of light take wing and join the angels of the Heavenly Father. Then shall the eternal sea reflect the shining glory of the heavens, and the branches of the tree of life reach to the stars. Then shall the kingdom of heaven fill all the earth with glory, and the shining stars of the Most High shall blaze within the hearts of the children of light, and warm and comfort the seeking sons of men. That was amazing. Yo, stars. All right, y'all, that's it from there. All right, so that's it from there. So what I wanted to ask y'all, since we're gonna start reading the Holy Megillah under the Fair Use Copyright Law Act, right? Hold up. There's some things here I really need to ask y'all some questions about. Listen, okay, so remember when I told y'all when y'all go order this, they send you like a little packet. And when you read through the packet, right, it's called the 49 Petals of the Blue Rose Course Workbook. It's within here that they let you know. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, not this one. No, not this one. It's the other one. I pulled it out, but this is the workbook that I want to ask y'all about. I think I left it upstairs. But in here, it lets you know that you didn't get a packet. Okay, so I figured that might be the case. Because of the other scrolls and stuff that they translated. And within that packet that they give you, they let you know about midway through it that there's other translations of this, right? And I'm apt to believe them. I'm 100% apt to believe them, because when I found out about the Holy Megillah, Saint Michael, y'all know who Saint Michael, he called himself Saint Michael, but the ambassador of Michael, Prince Michael, he was talking about this. They call it the Holy Nazarite Scroll, right? So they call it the Holy Nazarite Scroll. And being a part of some of his stuff for a little while, just hanging out in the background, never saying anything, just kind of like always listening to different stuff. That's how I found out about it. And I was like, man, why y'all being so super secretive? Just tell me the darn name of the book. So I'm looking for the secret Nazarite Scroll and all this stuff. I couldn't find it, you know, until I found out. And I think it was through reading through the comments, somebody else had figured it out. I was like, oh, it's called the Holy Megillah. But they were talking about that there were other things, like it's this whole thing still going on, where they're saying that the translators, the ones that are currently translating, now, I'm not saying this is neither true nor false, neither am I trying to pass gossip, but I'm simply trying to tell y'all what I heard, which makes me believe that what they're saying in here is true, right? So they said that what they have, that they are, the way that they're releasing it is, to make sure I say this right, I don't want to mix words up. I'm gonna just sum it up from what I understand. You gonna have to drive, go down to the store, make a copy of yours. Listen, I got y'all in a private group. Look, when I realized all of y'all may not have gotten a packet, I figured this is where our private group is going to come in handy. Now, listen, let me just say this too, for everybody that's joining a private group. Listen, the group is private for a reason, right? It's private for a reason. So I'm going to need y'all to use some wisdom, right? And I know some of the stuff you get, you're going to pull it from the group. You're going to share it with family and friends. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with it because people should know this, and I don't think it should be hidden. But the reason for the private group is because of certain things, and we don't want to get our channel shut down, right? I want to be able to share the information with y'all. Y'all just use wisdom and be grown-ups about it, right? So check the private group about the thing, right? Okay, so here's my question. You know, I'm just kind of skip through. Wait. Oh, let me say this first, then I'll tell you. Okay, so I found out that I'm really apt to believe that there is more to here, because they tell you it's more here, but they want you to go through their course before the next section of what they translated in that particular thing is released to you, right? So if they figured if you're not even reading this, you're not even going to understand what else we've translated and have here for you. So only those people who pass the course that they done put together, right? They got it. They can make their own kind of rules, whatever. So that's why I figured when we was talking about this, the whole course that they have, I'm wondering why we're reading it, if everybody should be following along in the course, right? Because it's a good handful of us. And if they catch me, I'm gonna say if they catch me, I ain't gonna say if they catch me. If they decide to not release it to me, like I'm really trying to work with them. I understand why they want to keep it private, right? But to me, I mean, you're translating it. You got the copyright. You can do whatever it is you want to do, right? And that's your choice. You can do that. But for information that could really help truth seekers along the way, not saying you got to take all of it and believe it like religion, like the Holy Bible, whatever. But if you have some of the stuff that's been translated, that you actually have translators who can translate stuff from the different ancient scrolls and stuff, why not share it? Why not share the treasure? And I get that you're not supposed to cast your pearls amongst swine. I get that. But something I also realize is that people that ain't looking for it, you ain't got to worry about them because they don't care about it. It's those of us that's looking for it. It's like, man, why you got to make it so hard for the truth seekers to get it? Just, it's like we want to make sure the shenaniganizers don't mess. They don't even care about it. Just put it out there, and those who are searching for it, they'll get it. I'm not saying you should charge, not whatever. I don't care. At least make it available so we can get it. Don't be trying to hide stuff and put us through all the rigmarole to give us the other scrolls and stuff like we searching for it. Man, I get it. I do. It shows you do whatever you want to do, right? You want to get this cookie up here, then you got to go clean your room. When I see that the room is clean and I can verify that the room is clean, then I give you the cookie. That's what it seemed like to me. And that could be, whatever, a bunch of rebellion. I don't know. But here's what I do know. I do know that they're telling the truth, that there is more that they've translated. Because while listening to Prince Michael, he mentioned it a couple times. And the elders from Kenya, the guardians of the Holy Scrolls or whatever, they're claiming that all of this information was stolen from there, right? Stolen from there or leaked out, whatever, and it's gotten out. So they're going through and they're proving certain things that can be taught the right way, all of this different stuff. So I'm just like, and they made a mention about the ones who are currently translating it, and the ones who are currently translating it, they said that they're putting pieces of it together. I guess putting pieces of it together out of order, so to speak. I could have that wrong, but they're putting it together in ways and combining certain things that shouldn't be combined. And I'm thinking they're just putting it all, here you go, whatever, purchase it for $100. But from my understanding, they're saying the way they're putting it together, some of the sections are part of other sections, and they should be kept in their proper section. So you just got to kind of wade through all the rigmarole to figure out what they're saying. So I'm like, okay. So when I started reading that through here, I'm like, oh, that must be what they were talking about. So now I'm like, now I really got to get my hands on it. Like, where's it at? How do I get it? And it seemed like right now, the only way that they're going to give it to you, because the elders in Kenya, they're going through it, and they're actually doing they're translating it. I mean, they have it, they can read it, but most of the languages or whatever, they're translating a copy to English for release, but they haven't released it yet, right? But they said that they've actually taken this and they've read through it, and it's a pretty good translation, right? Some things they would translate a little bit different, so when they release that copy, I want to get that copy too, because their insight may be different, and maybe like a custom or something, a certain type of people, maybe it's translated, maybe not in the right way. I'm not quite sure, but I do understand that. That's just like families having, y'all know how y'all have like family inside jokes and stuff or whatever, and somebody from the outside come and they try to explain your family life and they get it all chopped and screwed. They're actually telling you facts, but they haven't actually been intimate with the family to realize the little inside jokes that the family has and the nicknames and stuff, and the real story behind why we call him Pookie and all that. They don't really have the inside information. So when they tell you about it, it's just like they're giving you the rough, cut, hard facts about it, to where somebody who's actually a part of the community, they can tell you the story in a more intimate way. So that's why I really want the translation from the elders in Kenya, because I'm thinking it's going to be that way. It's going to be like a more intimate translation of the people. And I'm just like, so this is all we got now. So we're just going to make this work. And if they still ain't released it by the time we get through here. So here is my question. Thank you for posting a link to the private group, Jamil. When you go to the private group, now, I did choose 2 questions. Thank you, everybody who gave me suggestions for the questions. But I figure it needs to be something that people who have been here for a while, they know the answer to. Like, everybody knows the answer to the 2 questions, to where outsiders, it'll help me identify shenaniganizers and people that just want to come in the private group just to be nosy, and they haven't really been here for a while. So there's 2 questions. Now, there have been a couple people that I know for a fact have been here for a while, and they've been hanging out in the background, and they dip out every now and then. But it seems like, I'm like, now I know you've been here for a minute. How do you not know this? And it's one of my shenaniganizing words that I be using all the time. So I asked them, what does such and such mean? And then after you tell me what that means, the second question is, use it in a sentence in a proper context as pertains to the morning videos. Like, you have to use it like I use it, in a shenaniganizing way, for me to know that you've really been here for a little bit, or at least long enough to catch that part, right? So if I can trust you with that, we can trust you to come into the group. Right? So, but I did have a couple people that I let in yesterday. Like I said, I'm like, how do you not know that? And even in their questions, one of them was like, Sister Pam, you got me. I don't even know. But she did. She answered it she tried to use a sentence and put laughy faces. And I thought that was hilarious. I was going to let it in anyway, because I know she'd been there, but she must have completely missed every time I said this. And I say it like all the time, right? So, but when I let it in, I let her know what the answer was. She was like, oh, and it was another person. I'm going to let you go ahead and slide, because I know you've been here for a while. But that lets me know that You're not just here just being nosy, for real, for real. Like you really searching for some kind of truth. All right, well, let me look at it. Even if you don't spend the whole time on a video with us when we go like 2 hours or whatever, at least you know enough, you've been here long enough to know that we really searching for truth and we ain't just a bunch of heathens that's done ran amok or ran astray from our religious factions, right? We factionless over here. Like, what's the movie? Divergent. They would consider us the factionless, right? Don't no group want us. Y'all doing y'all own thing or whatever. Yeah, just stay away from them. Stay away from the factionless. Look, right? It weeds out the trolls. Okay, I must have forgot the question. Listen, okay, so a lot of people, now with some people in the group, some people that I don't know that came into the group before it went private, because before we decided to change the settings to private, there was like a 2-day or 48-hour grace period. I put in for it, but it let me know that within 48 hours, it'll be completely private. And that's when I can set up the questions. So I let y'all know that. I'm like, if y'all gonna get in, y'all better go and get in now. So a lot of people came in. There's a lot of people that I know, but there's some people that I don't know that's then gotten in. You know, I'm not thinking they're trolls. They could just be bad in their time. It could be some secret informant, some trolls already in our group, y'all. I don't know. So we got to be extra mindful. I'm gonna look at all the members, and I'm gonna go through all the members, and I'm gonna start looking at y'all pages and see. I don't know. And I ain't gonna just go back and just look at what you just posted for the last couple of days. I'm gonna go back some time to the time your account was created and see what you're really about. Yeah, they took down their site because of all the transitions and stuff that's happening. And the one of the main translators, Day Owen, he's still there, but he's just like fully translating stuff right now. That's his job. But they took down the website, which he was controlling all of that. But he's in retirement, but retirement from like the, you know, being out in front of everybody or whatever, so he can focus more on translation, the rest of the scrolls and stuff that they have. But they said that it was going to go back out, and it won't be the same. It won't be the same website address. Like, you can no longer, because you were able to download the order forms and all that stuff up there. They actually had the other books and stuff that they have up there, which one of them is a part of this. It's I think it's the Tantra book. It's a part of this. And I'm gonna get to the question I'm about to ask y'all. So okay. Seeing that we're going to be going through it, and it's going to take us 6 months because it's just as thick as a WASPy. They have this whole pamphlet course of questions and stuff that you should know before they'll release the second portion installment to it. They already have some other stuff translated, and what they're adding here, I guess they're simultaneously translating the different parts, which makes me think what I learned about from Prince Michael and what they said in Kenya is true. There's some portions that they're still adding to this, but there's other portions that they've already translated, and they have it put in the, you know, the other books and stuff that they translated. But in order to get those, they say they don't even make those available to the public. They only make those available to those who have already read through the Holy Megillah and have work through their workbook, the course for it, to make sure this is how they test. Don't say I'm already saying yes to your question. Okay, I'm getting to the question. Now the pamphlet, if I was doing it by myself, like I told you, I'm working on it, but I'm like, it's going to take me a little while. So I thought about it. Once we get done with the first half of the video, reading the second time through a WASPy, the Romance of the Red Star, when we can fully take the whole hour and just read through the Holy Megillah, I'm wondering, should we, while we're reading it, go ahead and knock out 2 birds with 1 stone? Because when we get done here, multiple of us can test. Like, you can call them, be like, listen, yeah, I read through it. And what y'all going to have to do, this is going to be like going to school. We're going to have to answer the questions, right? You have to answer the questions. We have to send it, like, we got to send in the work, right? So So it's not just me. We can do it together. We got our own little study group. Like, listen, boom, this is, what was this? Like, we can all work through this together. We can cover a lot of ground that way when we call them, because also, not only the exams are in here, and it's all open book. That's the beautiful thing about it. It's all open book. You ain't got to remember nothing off the top of your head. Everybody can pass this, right? But we got to get through it, and we got to prove to them that we done read through it, right? And so I don't know. We might make a bit of noise when it's a whole group of us release the next portion of the petals to us, right? And they go through, and then they test us on all this, because what they're going to do is, and I think it's good that we do it together. We can kind of go back and forth, and maybe, I don't know. Cause I know, like, y'all be typing. Sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, can we like just get on the phone or a Zoom or something? But I'm thinking, okay, so when we fully read the Holy Megillah for the hour, maybe for like the first 45 minutes we'll read, and then maybe like the last 15 minutes, we can just go through some of the questions. But y'all need to have a copy of this. Y'all ain't gotta wait for me. Y'all can just kind of go through. Maybe we'll just assign, okay, so and we'll maybe like, I don't know, we'll check on the question, we'll go over the questions, and at the end, by the end of the week, we can have like a section done. And we'll talk about this in a private group, right? And we can, as we talk about it, we can, I don't know if it's cheating. We'll make the answers available or whatever, but we didn't already talked about it, right? We can put it in there. That way, when we all go test for it, because it says in here that all of this is a written assignment. They give you like a course checklist, right? Checking everything off as you read and go through the sections. This is kind of make sure you stay on it. But once you get done with this and you complete all of this, you let them know, and they're going to give you a verbal exam. And here's what it says. The 16th petal, verbal exam on Matana with Day. So I'm not sure if he's still going to be the one that's going to be giving a verbal exam for those who are ready to move to the next section. And it says, after completing the first 15 petals, because it's 49, accordingly, it's 49 petals, right? They call this sections petals or whatever, 49 petals. But they only put 16 in here. No, they only put 15 in here. And then the 16th petal is the verbal exam on the Matana Wit Day. So it says, after completing the first 15 petals, study Matana until you feel ready to call day the current Yair. So if day is not the current Yair, or the, I guess you can say headmaster, teacher, or whatever, the person that gives the exams, they call them a Yair. Read that until you feel ready to call day or the current Yair and request a verbal exam. He will schedule a telephone appointment. It can be in person if you want to visit the Mother Temple, but for most it would be by the phone for a verbal exam on Matana. And Matana is simply this, the first section of here that has the Nazarene and seeing Nazarene Book of Genesis in it. And some of these other ones is the Holy, hold on, I think the God spell is a part of it. Section 3. I need to double check that. No, I think the Matana is just the first, because it got the Book of Noah, the Book of Moses, Glory of Kings. I want to say it's just the Odes of Shlomo, which is Solomon, Doors of the Wizard, Book of Isha, Matriarchs and Patriarchs, Book of Hanukkah, Book of Enoch. I want to say it has all of those in the Matana. I got to double check and just make sure, but we're going to figure that out. And it says the verbal exam will consist of questions asked by day about the teachings in Matana and your verbal responses. When you can pass this exam with a satisfactory degree of competency, you will have completed the 16th petal. If you do not pass the exam the first try, you can keep trying until you do pass, right? And so this is, you have to pass this one to get the next section. That's why I'm like, look, we need to come together and work on this together so we can all pass it, so we can get this next section. Especially if the elders of Kenya ain't already released it by that time, right? It says, note on the remaining 33 petals of the 49 petal course. Those of you who have completed the 16 petal have earned the degree of novice of the second degree of the blue rose. At that time, you complete the 16th petal. If you choose to continue your studies in this 49 petal course, you may request that the assignments for the next portion of the remaining 33 petals be sent to you, right? So that's the question. So I'm wondering, do y'all want to do this together? I know Jamil said after I finish grad school. Yeah, that's gonna be like the 2024, and we look. By the time that get there, we can be been done. So I figure if we read a couple, maybe we'll read a section from here, and then we'll start talking. We'll read 1 or 2 questions, and we can chat about it, right? And then we'll go into the private group. I'll pin a section. I'll create a thread, and I'll keep it pinned at the top or whatever. And within it, remember, do like the hashtag so you can see. So when you're looking for it in there, you can always find it. We'll start a thread with these questions and the assignments or whatever. And what I'll do, I'll put it for those that didn't get it, you know, because we're working together, we're studying together. I'll scan this and I'll make it a file inside of the private group so everybody can have a copy, right? You can read along. You can work ahead if you want to. You can get it all done if you want to. But I think if we work together, it'll be a little bit more enriching. The morning videos that'll just give it some of that like extra oomph and stuff. And then maybe when we do this, maybe I'll adjust one of the weekend videos to where it's not just me. I can bring people in and we can kind of like just chat about it, right? Because YouTube has it now. They do like the same thing that StreamYard does, right? So I'm not sure if we're going to use StreamYard or if I'll just try and use it in YouTube, where I can bring people in YouTube. And we just kind of, you know, it's going to be on the weekend. We'll take an hour to read through this and then maybe like the next 30 minutes to an hour and go through some of the questions. And we can actually have face-to-face interactions with this, right? So, shucks, I wish OWASP had something like this because we should be doing it, but it's going to probably have to be one of us that do that, make this kind of thing available for OWASP. And I think that'd be an amazing thing. But it probably had to be somebody like Selah and Cosma and Cal and the other Cosma, other gentleman. I'm sorry, I messed your name up. But they've been in the WASP way longer than we have, and they could probably come up with some type of course or whatever. Not that they're trying to be a teacher or whatever, but just to make sure you're getting it. It helps you take in the information a lot faster and remember it, right? So, but yeah, so that was my question. Yes, let's do it together. It seemed like Kevin said, I want a paper certificate for all that. Look, I can't officially issue you stuff, you know, but I don't know. Maybe we will do something like within our group or something like that. I don't know. We got some good designers and stuff in here. Y'all think of something posted. We can make it do like some social media stars or something. Yeah, Daryl Cosma. Yeah, thank you. Daryl Cosma, definitely, and Malachi. Yeah, so maybe if y'all here hanging out in the background, I know Cosma is out here. I don't know if he's still here, but maybe y'all can put together a course for OWASP, right? And we'll do that. We definitely gonna do it, right? Or if y'all do it, we're gonna come to y'all class or whatever, right? Because I'm still finding my bearings and different stuff around there, you know. So yeah, we gotta all join, right? Yeah, right. Look, Jamil said I'm getting all excited. We gotta all join, right? Yeah, like you don't have to. I'm just saying to give us more interaction in the morning, get us more out of our morning studies coming together and actually learning some stuff. I mean, we learning, but I really want the next portion of these holy scrolls that they just, yeah, we got it, but we want to make sure that you understand this before we release it to you, you know. So I don't know. I'm not sure how tedious the process is with the elders in Kenya, how long they take to translate. And I know they're extra careful and, you know, they ain't on nobody time clock. They want to make sure they do it right. So they'll release it when they release it, you know, and when they do, I'm here for it. I'm going to let y'all know, yo, the elders didn't open the scrolls. They done released it, right? So, but yeah. Yeah, right, Kevin, right? A great idea. Make certain that the info you're ingesting is settling in, right? Yeah, so sometimes it takes some time. All right, y'all. Mahal, y'all. Shalom, shalom. You just answered the question for the private group. Let me check real quick. Hold on. Let me see if you got it right. Hold on. I'm not go ahead and let you in now. Let me see. Oh, no. That's the page. Hold up. Group. I check it from here. I can go right to it from my phone. New to the group. Hold on. Where's a pending? Hold on. I don't know how to do it from the computer. Wait. Member request. Okay, here we go. Newest. What? I don't see it here. I'm gonna have to do it from my phone. I ain't played with it from the laptop yet. Okay, I'll see it soon as we get off here. I'll check into it and see. I'm scrolling back up. Dawn, yes, let's flood the Mother Temple. Field trip. They're gonna be like, where all these ninjas come from? It's about to go down. Yeah. Okay, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna answer it. I mean, I'm gonna open it up and look at it in a second. All right, y'all, we about to end it from here. I'm just scrolling through. I do also, I just said I do also. It will help you actually understand and retain the information. Absolutely. Okay, L. Stewart, shalom, shalom. Right? Okay, everybody in agreement. Okay, we're gonna do that. That L. Stewart said that'll be a good way for me to learn and understand what I can. Right? And we get the different perspectives from stuff, because sometimes we can have a one-track mind until somebody else comes and cross-examines what we currently think with their perspective. I'm like, oh, well, shoot, I ain't never think about it that way. Well, you could be right? Because it's a couple things in here that I'm like, okay, let me just keep reading, because it's going to probably explain this somewhere down the way, right? Because there is one thing in here. Ongo Yazo. Shalom, shalom. Jermaine, shalom, shalom. Listen, I'm going to warn y'all now. Me and Jamil was talking about it the other day. I know it's in here because I came across it. So in here, there's a small little portion where it talks about, where it's talking about marriage. I know it's in one of the marriage sections, but I just can't find it. But there was a couple that came of the same sex, and it seems was like, wait a minute, hold on. We need to go talk to the head master about this. We don't know that we should let y'all in the community, right? Because it was a same sex, maybe they wanted to get married and stuff, right? So I'm just like, well, let's see how this play out. What they about to say to them, right? And so just kind of make a long story short, they wasn't like, get out of here, you heathens. No, woman can't marry a woman, man can't marry a man. The teacher told them, they said, you know what? Leave them be. And I'm like, that's all you got to say? Right? I'm thinking it's about to get into this. And he pretty much just said, leave them be, you know. So I'm just like, I'm just still trying to weigh that down. And look, I'm still trying to weigh that deep down in my sha-na-na. Trying to make sense of this. And why you would say just leave them be. Because a man and a woman can't reproduce after the natural order of things. Why would you just leave them be? You know, pretty much saying they ain't in here making a ruckus, trying to tear, I'm putting it in my own words. They ain't in here making a ruckus, trying to tear stuff up, trying to get you to live that life. Then leave them alone. Right? And so I was thinking that maybe as they're amongst truth, that they will begin to work out that stuff in their soul, you know, as they're amongst truth and they see truth actually being lived. So that was my thoughts. But when we get to that part, I would really like to hear what y'all think about that little section right there, because I'm just like, but if I think about it in life today, like when I come amongst people, if people live same-sex marriage, I ain't going to like, oh my God, do you know that's against the natural ways of life? I don't act that way when I get around people who choose to live that way, right? I may have my own biases and my thoughts in my head and my personal perception of what this is, but I don't be getting out there acting all crazy. I literally let them be. Go along. Long as you ain't coming over here trying to push that into my house, you ain't trying to teach my children that, I'm going to let you be. I ain't got no problems with you. That's your own thing. You work out your own soul salvation. That's my thoughts on this right here and why he said that. So, but like I said, when we get to it, I want to hear y'all perspective on that and what y'all think about it. But I know a couple people have actually heard about that section in here and they just discounted the whole thing as garbage altogether. I'm just like, how man, you can't do that. You got to actually get into it. And, so that's why I think it's good that we kind of go through this together, so we can all stay balanced and just kind of look at things because sometimes we have the tendency to want to just push people off to the side when they don't believe like us or whatever, instead of actually, sitting down, maybe reasoning with them or actually understanding where they're coming from, why they're coming from, the perspective they're coming from. I'm like, well, oh, okay. Not that we have to join you, but at least I know why you're coming from that perspective and why you believe that way. It's based on your own experiences in life. You're looking through the filters of your own life when you're looking at things and trying to, understand things. It's through your own personal filters and experience and stuff. So now that I understand that, I can see why he said, you know what, just let them be, let them be. Because in my life today, that's what I do when I encounter people like that. I just let them be. I don't go in there like, oh, you, oh, did y'all know? I don't do that. I let them be, so I'm just like, okay. Like that, and that's not saying that I agree with you or anything, but you ain't causing no problems. You ain't trying to, I'm gonna let you be. Go ahead about your business. I'm out, So, but yeah. All right, beautiful people. So that's it. I'll go ahead and I'll get this uploaded in there. So for those of y'all that actually didn't get it when they sent you yours, so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right, so that's it for today. Oh, let's see. Father, we thank you not only for the ability to dream, but also to understand our dreams and to be able to pull the wisdom from our dreams. Yeah. All right, beautiful people, that's it for today. It is Thursday, March the 16th, 2023, day 355 of year 4 of reading through books, laws, and prophets. And of the 4-year consecutive day count, day 1,374. We read pages 89 to 92 in the Romance of the Red Star, which was the last couple chapters of the Cycle of Sue. And then in the Essene Gospel of Peace, we started on page 227 reading about the stars, and we ended on page 229. All right, beautiful people. All right, so that's that. I'm going to go ahead and post all this stuff that I said I was going to share with y'all, the little meme from Milli Vanili. The interview from the guy that was talking about the stuff that Stephen Greer and Cosmo Cal told me his name. The other black guy. I'm gonna post all this stuff, and I'm gonna check the invites. If you go to the private group, people, remember, answer the questions. There are some people that come in and they just ignore the questions. I feel bad for declining it and turning it away. But if you don't answer the question, I'm gonna decline it with feedback. You didn't answer the questions, right? And if you answer the question, like if you truly don't know, I'm going to do a little bit of research before I just turn you away from the doors. I'm going to go see what kind of life you're living on social media. Not that that has anything to do, because you may just not have cleaned up your social media or whatever, and you could have been hanging out here in the background for God knows how long, right? But if you have been, you shouldn't have any issue with answering a question, right? Just pull it from deep down in your shanana. Like, you will get it. You will be able to answer the question. Just think about it. Meditate on it. And it's going to rise. I'm telling you, it's going to rise up from deep within your shanana, and you will be able to answer the question, all right? All right, y'all. So that's it. I'm out of here. You're welcome, Kevin. You going to look. Yeah, go ahead. Do that, y'all. If you want to see the question, because I'm not going to tell y'all the question. But everybody should be able to answer the question. Even if this is the first video that y'all watch, you should be able to answer the question today just by watching the video today. So if you want to see the question, leave the group, leave the private group, then come back and request to join it again. And so you can see the question. All right. Auntie Shalom. You welcome, you welcome. Yeah, I know the question. Yeah, Audrey. Everybody's been here for a while that's familiar with my shenanigans. You should be able to answer the question. And I told you in there too, because I know some people is going to go try and Google it. And so I Googled it myself. But the answer Google gives you is completely off. If you answer the question with the answer that Google gave you, I know immediately you're a shenaniganizer. And I let you know that. And I say, and don't go try to Google either, because Google can't tell you the answer to this question, right? And make sure you use it properly in a sentence. All right, y'all. I love y'all. We out of here. Abigail, shalom, shalom. Have the most amazing day. I love y'all. Peace.